This is Mike Franklin, the Property Tax Guy and Assessor Audit on YouTube. And today we're going to talk about a case I have coming up in the city of Syracuse. I've had some issues with the city of Syracuse at the Board of Assessment Review, and now we're moving to the Small Claims Assessment Review. The city of Syracuse has evaded my FOIL requests. It's just astounding. I received some emails. I'd foiled a bunch of data, and I saw some emails between either the legal department or the assessor's office from Syracuse.com. Let me see, what was his name? Just one of the reporters that handles this kind of stuff. And he, when he sent them a FOIL request, they jumped on it immediately, and all kinds of emails are going back and forth, and they got to get it to on time and all this kind of stuff. But when the public asks for information, they just blow you off, and it's really kind of concerning. So I have a state hearing officer that I'm going to be going before on Tuesday. And the meeting's going to be at City Hall. It's going to be, I guess, in the planning department for some reason. It's not going to be in a courtroom. And I submitted an audio-visual request to be able to video record this hearing. This is an assessment hearing. There's nothing more public than assessments. And the city of Syracuse objected, and they wrote this disingenuous letter about saying that there's no transcripts allowed of SCAR hearings, and they're suggesting a transcript is a video is a transcript. And I need to help the city of Syracuse legal department understand what transcript means. So I need to help them with their word roots. Trans, as in translate, script, as in scribe, as in writing, transcript. Translate to writing. It's got nothing to do with the video. Also, the law that mentions that there's no transcripts was written in 1986 when everybody used fax machines. They didn't do videos on YouTube like we do today. And so, it's just, it's an obsolete law, and it has nothing to do with video recording and assessment hearing and the Small Claims Assessment Review hearing. And oddly enough, the city of Syracuse recorded the Board of Assessment Review hearings, whether the public likes it or not. And they have this really neat camera set up. I think there's like 4 cameras, and it will zoom into the person who's talking. And so you've got a panel of 5 people on the Board of Assessment Review, and a few people from the assessor's office at the right, and then the city attorney, and then the city person who schedules all these things, and then I am and they're facing me and my client, and the cameras are all around us, and they zoom into whomever is talking, and they live stream it to YouTube. The entire Board of Assessment Review process was live streamed on YouTube, but for some reason, this Small Claims Assessment Review hearing officer, Ray Grisinda, doesn't want these Small Claims Assessment Review hearing cases recorded. And my guess is, Ray is a realtor from Cicero, and he's been a hearing officer for many years, and Ray likes to be part of the club and essentially pretend that he's a judge, and so he kisses up to the court, to the administrative judge. The administrative judge, likes to squash these things because, it does nothing but cause him work. And these, in my opinion, the administrative judge thinks that the small claims assessment matters are beneath him because he's a real judge and he deals with real cases, not this assessment stuff. So he can't be bothered. And so he doesn't want them recorded because apparently he believes that if they're recorded, that'll cause more work for him. There might be more publicity, and the public might not like some of the things that are going on in the city of Syracuse Assessment Department. And I tell you, the public should be very concerned. And the reason is they are collecting money from 46,000 parcels, and they've been paid to do this assessment job, and they haven't done it. They haven't been at 100% equalization since 1997, according to the Syracuse newspaper. And they just kind of patch through it every year, and they're at a 65% equalization. And when you have a 65% equalization, it creates unequal situations all over the place, and it confuses the public. And so so I foiled their data. They don't want to give me their data. They don't want the hearings recorded. They're covering up the fact that they're not doing the job properly. And if you're a contractor and you get paid to do a job and you don't do it, they will put you in jail. But the City of Syracuse Assessment Department isn't doing the job, and they're getting paid to do the job. But apparently that's okay. It's not okay for contractors, but it is okay for the City of Syracuse to take people's money and not do the job. I don't know if they're spending the money on other things or what it is that they're doing, but they're not doing the job properly, is the bottom line. And they want to make certain that that's covered up so nobody knows about it, so they don't want this stuff recorded. So they do have a new assessor. His name is Mark Oja. And I think Matt Oja. And I think, there's his name, Matt Oja. Here he is. And Ann Gallagher is the deputy. And I think Matt is, this is his first full year, I think. And I think he's trying to turn things around. And, I think that he's certainly qualified to do that. But the thing is, he doesn't want to be transparent about what it is he's doing. He evades FOIL requests, and he doesn't want the hearings recorded. So that's concerning to me. And so I just don't think that that's appropriate. He's being paid by the public. He needs to be accountable to the public. So, but hopefully he'll get this thing turned around and get it to 100% at some point in time. But he should start with transparency. And, it's a difficult job. I get it. 46,000 properties you have to value. But don't pretend that you're right all the time when you're obviously not. And so they use their legal department to squash any dissent with what it is that they're doing, and it's highly inappropriate. And it's pretty disappointing what's going on in the city of Syracuse. They have a legal department that is apparently on salary, and so they don't mind taking this stuff on because it's a fixed cost to them. Small towns don't have attorneys, full-time attorneys to do all this stuff. So they tend to be more reasonable about this stuff. But the city of Syracuse is essentially collecting money from the public to pay lawyers to abuse the public. That's what it is that they're doing, and it's pretty darn inappropriate. And I've got the feeling the new mayor is trying to turn things around as well. I really like the camera system that they set up, and I just saw a thing where they're going to put body cameras on code guys, which I think is absolutely necessary. And especially when they're trespassing on people's property, you need to know what's going on. And so, I think that there's some positive change, but they need to be accountable for what it is that they're doing. And it's just not appropriate to use taxpayers' money to abuse the taxpayers. So anyway, Tuesday is the hearing, and and since the hearing officer behaves this way, I don't expect that we can get a fair hearing from this guy. So it's like the judiciary is protecting the assessor. The judiciary is helping the assessor not be accountable to the public, and it's really, really concerning. And I think that there's parallels to be drawn. When the way the judiciary handles things, when bad things happen, I believe it's because the judiciary is enabling it, and they're enabling this assessor to behave the way that it is that he's behaving, and it's not appropriate. And I think that our judiciary needs to act in good faith. And in this case, they are not. They think a video is a transcript. It's just outrageous. But anyway, we'll see what happens on Tuesday. I don't know if they're going to surround me with cops this time. Down in Binghamton, I had 3 cops surround me, make certain I didn't record. And there's 3 more out in the hall in this enormous courtroom. paying all these court police, heating this monster building for an assessment hearing, of which I participated in 250 that were always in a conference room, no cops, no nothing. But as soon as I asked to record, all of a sudden I'm surrounded by cops for an assessment hearing. This is Mike Franklin, the Property Tax Guy.